Big up, man. This is episode 3. We're at the Greatness Now podcast. It's your boy. This is me, KC. And I'm joined by my boy, Jay Littles.
Respect, man.
Big up, man. Thanks for coming, my brother.
Oh, thanks for having me, man.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. So, this is the 3rd episode. So we're still warming in. First 2 episodes. The first episode, it was like a community thing. We got Clive Foster in. We was talking about Jamaica, Windrush. Second episode, we was talking about, I had my boy in, O-Dot. We was talking about Jamaican parenting. And now I'm kind of warming in and I'm getting into, part of me, hip-hop, man. You know what I'm saying?
The Caribbean link continues, though.
Yeah. The Caribbean link continues. And I've always said, like, the Caribbean thing, you know, in hip hop is massive. People don't realize. No,
they don't. It's almost, they make a point of separating the two almost, isn't it? It's like unless you're willing to go back into the teachings and the beginnings of this thing. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know.
Yeah, maybe not even bothered. But
no.
But when you are from the Caribbean of some sort, yeah, we got to be proud of these little things. It's crazy, like the musical influence that Jamaica has on the world for the size of it, because you know that it still puts out the most music in the world. Jamaica
does. And even modern music today, a lot of the drill and the trappy stuff and like the R&B has had this like dancehall twist on it now.
Yeah, that's like the Afro beats.
Yeah, that's like the safety net for a hit single now. It's very much the blueprint. And I feel like kind of before Vybz Kartel went away, I think the last one that I heard was the summertime tune.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of it was that was a blueprint for a lot of the stuff that's kind of still being put out today.
Yeah, he birthed something, man. So yeah, big up to the Jamaicans, big up to the Jamaicans in hip hop. I mean, Biggie, Jamaican, right?
Yeah. Busta Rhymes. He's the reason
Busta
I started rapping, bro.
Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
So that's good. Let's get into it, man. 50 years hip hop. Obviously, hip hop saved me on many occasions. So we're gonna talk about how we got into it.
Yeah.
Let me start with me first of all. So my first ever experience with hip hop was my mom buying me a tune. She didn't know what she was doing, bless her. She did not know what she was doing. She came home, I think I was sick of school or something. I could only have been like 7, 8 years old. She came home with some vinyls. One vinyl was Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick.
All right.
The show.
Yeah.
And the other vinyl was a brother, you might not know this, 'cause I'm a little bit older than you, called Adam Ant. Yeah?
Adam Ant,
You know about Adam Ant, yeah? Like a white English guy, but he was kind of rapping as well.
What's the song?
Was it Prince Charming or something?
Prince Charming?
Yeah, so yeah.
Come on, man.
No, that was a good test, bro.
Didn't he have the...
Yeah. So she gave me those, and then that blew my mind, man. And I was like, yo, yeah, this feels right.
Yeah.
This feels right. And it's mad that my mum put me onto those things. And then, I learned the lyrics of La Di Da Di. You know what I mean?
Right, let me just ask you something then. So you see, like, when you first got introduced to it and you knew that it's something that you wanted to kind of partake in and whatever, did you, what's it called?
Yes, Jay. You cool, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm blessed, you know.
You blessed, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Have a seat, bro.
Yeah.
So you say that you was learning the words to La Di Da Di then? Was that before you started writing, was learning songs a thing for you?
No.
Because that was
not consciously.
Right.
Not consciously. It's like when you hear a song now, as I'm old, I'd have to make an effort to learn the lyrics.
Yeah, of course.
But back then, it's like they just get the frequency.
I used to if something like hit me, I would rinse it for time.
Yeah.
Just rinse it. And my thing used to be, I'd hear something and I'd be like, I can't wait to learn this. And then I go back to the Busta thing. When I heard that was my first my second purchase, sorry. My first purchase is a little bit...
What was your first purchase?
It was a Puff Daddy album.
Jeez!
remember what's it called? The Public Enemy number one.
That was your first hip-hop purchase?
Yeah, because I was about 10 them times. 97. Just after Biggie died.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for you, when you... Was Puff a proper rapper for you then?
No, but it wasn't him. It wasn't. It was that song, and then obviously I used to look on like the reverse of the cassettes to see the track list and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when I'm seeing Redman on there, I'm seeing Biggie on there, I'm seeing Busta Rhymes, right, I'm getting this.
Okay, so you knew about them as rappers, and you said yeah.
Yeah, but not enough to where I could hold any type of conversation about it or speak on the discography of recent years or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was just more of I recognise them, and I know that that's something that I've been introduced to as a kid at some point. And they were the people that I knew that I liked.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? That was as much as I knew.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Let me bring Jay up to speed. We're talking 50 years hip hop, bro.
Yeah.
So we're talking about our first kind of interaction with hip hop. I tell you another thing that happened to me as well. Cause back when I was young, obviously, in Notts there was like 2 breakdance crews. Breakdancing was the thing that I got into probably around the same time as I discovered Dougie Fresh, Slick Rick. But there was a crew called the Rocksteady crew.
Yeah.
Fever will know about these in Nottingham. Rocksteady crew.
Was that Trev? Was Trev Rocksteady?
It might have been, you know. He might have been. Somebody took me to a battle at Rock City, and the point I walked in there, I seen this girl. Her name's Michaela. I don't think she called herself that back in the day, but as I'm walking in, she was this big, bro. I see her walk up to the other crew, and she just bust a head spin, and the place went mad. And at that point, I'm like, what is this thing here? Obviously, it's hip hop, you know what I'm saying? And then I left there thinking, nah, I'm gonna be a breakdancer, but I weren't brave enough to be a breakdancer, bro. Cause this, you know, the windmill and all them things there.
Yeah.
You had to be brave to be trying them things there.
You're thinking about your neck.
Yeah, I was thinking I can't do this as much as I wanted to. And at that point, I realized, no, I can be a body popper though. Cause you just,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I can do that, but forget the spinning and the head spin and all that. You could break your neck. And I weren't that brave, but I knew, nah, this is something that I want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, got Dougie Fresh, got Slick Rick, and then slowly but surely, I just started to follow this hip hop thing. Then this film came out called Breakdance.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah? You know about Breakdance?
No.
Okay. So this film came out called Breakdance.
Turbo
and he has Turbo and Ozone and the 2 brothers, and they went, it was so sick, man. I went to see this film, a cinema called the Odeon in Nottingham back in the day. It was a cinema near Market Square.
Yeah.
And as I've gone to see this film, you got to imagine, bro, the whole, you know, like when you go see Black Panther now, and it's that vibe.
Yeah.
It's like that. Like everyone that was into hip hop in the city was watching breakdance. This was breakdance too, actually, and I remember it's like a stage, innit? And everyone, even when the music's on, man are dancing on the stage, and I'm thinking, nah, this is sick, man. This hip hop thing is hard. So that reaffirmed for me, yeah, I'm on this. And then Public Enemy came out as well. And you know, as a kid, you ain't really got that political awareness yet, but you kind of see what's going on. And then Public Enemy came out, and the way that they was talking, I was thinking, how they're explaining the world, I can relate to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I thought, yeah, I'm on this. This is me. And then all I started doing was, it's mad, you know. It's mad how it works, but I just remember I started writing rhymes in my bedroom, like, just putting words together. Do you know what I mean? And from there, I said, yeah, I'm a MC, man. Do you know what I mean? It's deep. So how did you get into writing anyway?
Yeah, so my thing was always like, I'd listen to things, and I used to emulate a lot of things that I would hear and see, whether it was films or whether it was songs or whatever. And one of the first things that I heard where I went, no, I need to do this, was when I heard Gimme Some More for the first time. This is 98.
That's mad.
Times.
Yeah.
And I used to, like I said, that's one of the songs I would just play and just rinse and rinse and rinse. I learned every single word, and then I got to a point where I was like, you know what, I'd like to do this myself. But I don't know how do you start? And then I was just toying with the idea like here and there, but I kept it a secret almost.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You keep it a secret.
Didn't really tell anyone.
Yeah.
And my uncle's an MC as well, but he was part of the whole breakdancing scene. I don't know which crew was
they
in.
probably know.
He was in the mix there for sure. And he went over to Italy and he was teaching breakdancing over there.
Okay.
And to cut a long story short, someone basically presented him with the opportunity to record a song that was written for him in exchange of a fee. Anyway, records this song, goes about his business because he's a bit of a loose cannon, man. So we just.
What's his name, man?
Ice MC.
Ice MC. I've heard of that name. So, shout out Ice MC.
Yeah. And then about 6 months later, someone gets in contact with him and says, "Oh, there's a record label been trying to hunt you down." And he's like, "What? This song's blown up. It's getting played here, there, and everywhere in Italy and all these things there." And my uncle's thing was always, "Yo, just give me the dough. I don't care." And then someone had basically tracked him down. They had a conversation. They'd agreed to do some more of these things. And then this birthed Ice MC, but it was already known as Ice through the breakdancing thing.
Okay.
So obviously just added the MC thing on there.
Yeah.
But obviously in like the early 90s, it was the whole Eurodance scene.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what he got pulled into. So he kind of used his influences from hip hop and took it over to this. It's almost like Flo Rida and Pitbull then. Of the early 90s type thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't meet him till I was like 6. I didn't even know he existed. He just turned up at my yard one day and my dad was like, "Yeah, that's your uncle." And then we just hit it off from there. And when he used to come back to England, he'd pick me up, we'd drive around and whatever. And he used to have the dirty, like the wallet, the big wallet with like 6 joints in each page, front and back. And he would just play shit and I'd be like, "What's this?" And he'd just educate me on all this shit. And then before I knew it, I was a bit of an encyclopedia just based on this one wallet, this collection. And we used to listen to just shit that was way before my time. So like from I'd probably say between the ages of 8 and 10 when I actually went out and purchased my first thing, I just soaked up a lot of stuff without knowing that subconsciously I was kind of turning myself into this MC. So do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was where when I like kind of went off on my own when he went around, when he was back over in Italy and whatever. I was always like on the hunt for something that I could like sink my teeth into and like learn and stuff like that. And then it just got to the point where Busta was one of the people he used to play, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it's mad, as well, because I remember as a kid, not wanting to be into the same music as everyone in my class, wanting to listen to something different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I wanted to be the guy that, you lot don't know about this tune yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, putting people on.
Yeah.
Rather than man putting you on. Yeah. I like to put people on. But it was crazy because thinking about the times, 80s, early 80s, obviously reggae music, Bob Marley was there. Musical Youth was bossing these times in England. They're from Birmingham.
Yeah.
You know about Musical?
No, you're showing your age.
Yeah, I'm showing my age. Aswa, these man were bossing. So reggae music was prominent in my life because my mum was all about reggae music. But still, I wasn't relating to it as much as a kid. Like, this was a new thing for me. Hip-hop was a new thing. And obviously America, massive influence on us anyway. Do you know what I mean? But I was like, this is me. And then there was a little time where I kind of got into, what's it called? What's the Jodeci and all that called? Like swing beat type music. Jodeci, Guy, New Jack Swing. I was like, no, because these guys look like they was dressing that. I was like, these ones look like they can get the ladies.
Yeah.
So me and my crew jumped onto that for a second. But the group that I was into, Jodeci, they looked the most hip hop of all these acts. So then I was like, it's hip hop for me. And then, Redman started coming, Eric Sermon and his little crew. And then something happened and Wu came. And when Wu-Tang came, that was it, man. when you didn't have to dress up nice no more. You could just look, man got on the wheel as well. You know, when you could just put the hoodie on and not have to dress up, and then knowledge that these man. I didn't understand some weird tunes for years. But I was like, nah, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. And then, that was it. I was hooked, man. I was hooked. And Big Thieves. Bro, you can't hide from the camera. It's going to catch you. It's going to catch you. You cool? Blessings, man. Blessings. Is there room for Thieves? Can you get him? Yeah. Yo, we're talking 50 years hip-hop, Thieves. So we're going to get you in a minute. We're going to get your rendition in a minute. Yeah, man. How did you get into hip-hop, Jay?
I was actually quite late into hip-hop music, but when you was mentioning breakdance or breaking, that's the other word for it as well.
Breaking,
yeah. Breaking or break, probably where European markets and whatever. Like I've got it on DVD now, and it's breaking, not breakdance. But I always know it as breakdance. But in London, my cousins showed me that.
Yeah.
So that's how I was first introduced to kind of culture, the breakdancing, but it's obviously more electro. It's the early stage.
Oh, yeah. Remember them electro
got them all, man.
Vinyls?
Yeah.
Well, can we get Thieves in? Can we slide them in the side? Can we get him in this?
Not really, bro. Not really.
Yeah?
We'll swap out in a bit.
Yeah. I remember them electro vinyls, man.
Got those of vinyl.
I think I started from like 7 or something.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's the turntable and Egyptian Lover. And
Yeah. This is why we need you here for you to see. You're making up for it, bro. You're making up for it. But yeah, that sound there is what people used to break dance to, innit?
Yeah.
Them electros.
So that's kind of... So from that stage, that's when I was first introduced to the culture, the dancing side element, and obviously to show you in that film a bit of the tagging, the graffiti side.
Yeah.
The music came later on when I actually moved to Nottingham, and
Why? Where was you before Nottingham?
London.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you mentioned Aswad as well, like that's what was playing in my house.
Yeah.
So my gateway into hip hop was through kind of when I got here, but I got here when I was like 7, 8 anyway. But the first album that actually comes to mind, I'm sure I was listening to other stuff before that, but the first album that comes to mind is Biggie's Ready to Die, because I remember being at my friend staying at his mum's, and his big brother just had it on.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, man, this is dope.
Yeah.
The way man was spitting, but I was always into actual beats.
Yeah, you got the
like
ear anyway.
Beatboxing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was doing that before, but I didn't know that was kind of related to hip hop. It's just my cousins were doing it, and that's all we used to do is beatbox. I was never really much of a dancer either. So it was.
You can do backflips though.
Yeah, I'm
you one of them backflip, man.
Yeah.
Again, you had to be. You'd have been a good break dancer. You have to be brave to try and pull them things off.
You can do a backflip.
Yeah.
You can do one right now.
Right now on camera.
Wow.
Nah, don't. We ain't got no assurance in here. We ain't got no assurance in here.
Try the heat on him like that.
He's your agent, man. He's your agent. No, I remember being a kid at primary school saying to my brethren, yo, we're starting a b-boy crew.
Yeah.
And saying, this is our little crew. Do you know what I mean? And looking for man in the playground to battle.
That's serious. It was serious, wasn't it?
It was serious.
Like almost like fighting almost.
Yeah.
But with dance, yeah.
It's crazy, man, because hip hop, it's 50 years in now. Yeah. Again, if you'd have told me then as a kid that we're gonna get to 50 as like a culture, I would have said, nah, you're lying. And the mad thing is, I feel part of me feels old in it, part of me feels young in it. I feel old in it because it's like a little kid that you see grow up, but then you got no control over when it goes past 18 years old. You know what I'm saying? You got no control, but you still love it because you knew it when it was young.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's mad. It's mad.
That reminds me of the song, innit? It's kind of started.
I used to love her.
East Coast, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, people who wrote songs about it. Yeah. Shout out Common and that. But that's how I feel, man. And even though some of the new stuff will annoy me, I still gotta love it because I came from it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I think, oh, is that how my parents felt when I was thumping them tunes
Definitely
back
did.
in the day?
Definitely
They did,
as
didn't
well,
they?
Yeah.
Especially PE as well, Public Enemy and you know, stuff like that, where it was just seemingly like noise to your parents.
But I think though, I just think the difference with it all now is if you go back 20 years and you talk to these artists before, they're not clowning what came before them, like these youths are now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I hear
You
you.
get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like going back to the Wu, I've been watching. I don't know if anyone's seen it. The Wu-Tang series on Disney Plus. Sick.
No,
It's cold. It's cold. That's
Oh,
why I put the Wu
okay,
on.
that's what
So
you put that on.
I've been watching this weekend,
Yeah.
and it's obviously just gives you a little insight. Obviously, it's sensationalized and dramatized and whatever.
Yeah.
But there's a bit when they're on tour and they're all bunning it down and whatever, and then they're all saying, "Oh, I'm tired of hearing rap shit," da 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 da, and they're all going through old funkadelics and that's what they're listening to. All of them, and you can. They all come
So they're
from that.
paying the
and they all
homage to
respect
the- yeah.
The thing that what's it called?
Yeah.
What it
What
is that
brought
they
them
do.
there? I remember my first ever tour, second ever tour actually, and someone said to me, "Yo, God, this was in Germany," and I gotta say, it's mad because I got immersed in the hip hop culture when I got to Germany. Yeah, I knew a little bit here because I'd listened to Westwood and that, but it's not till I moved abroad and I realised, oh, this is an actual whole culture.
Yeah.
So anyway, fast forward, I'm over there. Somebody, believes in me and says, "Yo, I can get you on a tour, man." And they said it's supporting Wu-Tang. I'm like, what? I'd only just discovered who Wu were. I'm like, I can support Wu-Tang. They said, yep. Here's some Wu-wear. You know, like what Wu-wear was. So
Wu-wear,
they gave me about 3 different sets of clothing
Wow.
with Wu-Tang on. Like, and I'm talking some nice bits of clothing, you know, bro. I used to sleep in the... Yeah, I never came out of these clothes for about 6 months. You know what I'm saying? The jeans, the Wu... I'd love to know where they are. Someone's wearing them in the world somewhere now. Beautiful garms, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like I was in Wu-Tang, bro.
Yeah.
So anyway, I go to this show, and the show was so sick, bro. At like an old swimming pool in Germany, an old outdoor pool. I seen Wu smashing it, bro. It was just sickest thing.
You get to open up before them.
Yeah. And it's crazy. And then, bro, I went up to Method Man after the show. You know, just young and brave. I said, "Yo, my name's KC, man." He's like, "What up, man?" I'm like, "Yo, you don't know me, you know, but you're gonna know me one day."
Yeah.
And he said, "Yo, that's crazy. That's the same thing I said to Ed Lover back in the day."
Wow.
I was like, "Rah, okay, cool." So I knew I was on the right track.
Yeah.
Being young and kind of
Hungry.
Yeah. It was beautiful. Got to meet ODB. Got to meet all of them. And it's mad because years later, talking about 10 years later or whatever, my good friend Afua, shout out to her. She's the tour manager for Redman, Method Man.
Right, okay.
And they came to Knots.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Yo, do you want to come through?"
I
And
got to open up on that.
you was there.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
to open up. Yeah.
And I got to bring my son with me. He was like 17, 18 at the time.
Wow.
And seeing Method Man backstage, I thought, I wonder if he remember me. He didn't remember nothing about me. He didn't remember nothing about me.
No,
But he checked for my son. He loved my son.
Yeah.
He said, "Yo, do you not want to come to the show the next day in the following city?" Not because of me, because of my son. Yeah. So he vibed with my son. So I was like, "Alright, cool, man. As long as you respect my son, that's cool." But it was beautiful. Yeah, looking back now, they say never meet your heroes. Like for me, Method Man, my hero, man. Do you know what I'm saying? It was
What
it was
an
up there.
amazing journey, man.
It's beautiful. It's
Amazing.
beautiful. And the thing with hip hop, there's so many elements to it, sides
It's
to
the
it.
levels to it.
Yeah.
You hit you are still at a level, aren't you, because of who you are and what you've already achieved. And that's what hip hop is. It has these different like chambers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
There's chambers to this.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And then I'm gonna stay on Wu for a second. I went to New York with my boy D Flame, and we stayed at where did we stay? We stayed in Harlem, and I don't know why, but the woman's place that we stayed at, big up Sister Asia, she was one of the tour managers for Wu as well, and she introduced me to Ghostface. what's the brother that's not in Wu but he's like Wu?
Kappa, not Kappa.
Killer Priest. Yeah, met Killer Priest. It's funny that you said that. Yeah. Bro, super hard. But the thing with Wu, they had so many affiliates as well that weren't in Wu, but they. Yeah.
Syndicate and all that.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And
Amazing.
Disciple and all that.
Shabazz Disciple, yeah, good friend of mine. Met him a few times.
Great MC.
Amazing MC.
Wow.
He's still going. So there's so many elements to this hip hop thing. And the weird thing about being in Germany, bro, yeah, I have to tell you all, yeah, it's like when I would meet rappers in Germany, it's like they were a bit more chill than when they were in England. It's like the guard was down a bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just a bit more chill. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So, yeah, man, I had a lot of good time with meeting other MCs.
Didn't you open up for Gangstar as well?
Yeah. I'll tell you a mad Gangstar story. This unbelievable story, but I'm going to tell it anyway just so it's on record, yeah? A crazy Gangstar story, yeah? I'm in Berlin, did a show, obviously met Primo, shout out DJ Premier, met Guru.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. Good guys, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in the show circuit, you meet people a couple times, yeah? This is a true story, man. Met Guru after my show. He's like, yo, well done, man. Sick show. And he was like, yo, I like the name, man. KC. I was like, all right, cool, man. Thanks. All right, cool. Bro, he said it to me about 3 times, the exact same thing. I like the name KC. I was like, all right, cool. Bro, fast forward 20 odd years. Yo, guess what his son's called, bro?
Oh, stop it.
Guess what his son's called?
The one that looks...
KC, bro.
The spitting image of him.
That's crazy.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mad.
And he's in the video.
That's mad, isn't it?
He's in the video.
That's
to
mad.
Now, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Crazy story.
Crazy.
Crazy story. Beautiful. So I'm gonna take credit. Shout out. You owe me some money, bro. Yeah. I have to say, man, it's like we've grown up with this hip hop. Everyone said that 90s is the golden era. Did you catch the 90s then, or did you catch the 90s after the 90s?
Back end of the 90s, but I was privy to early 90s
Yeah,
stuff.
because you...
Just based on how I came about listening to stuff, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I was never... Obviously, unfortunately, I didn't get immersed into it. Like, for me, 94, 95 are the ones for me.
Yeah.
That's... Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Illmatic and all that.
Yeah.
Well, they call the golden era 85 to 95, don't they? That's kind of the general premises in it, when people talk about that golden era.
Yeah.
You know, 85 to 95. So that covers NWA, Public Enemy, EPMD.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Juice
where I
Crew,
jumped in.
Juice Crew.
Yeah.
And then it brings you into Nas,
Yeah.
OC.
Yeah,
it brings you into that era as well. So they call that the golden 10 years of when the sampler, the SB1200 and sampling and that got advanced. Do you know what I mean?
And then you see the energy move called the West Coast say, you know what, we're on this as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Dre
literally copied what he was hearing from the Bop Squad. So, but and had his own version of it. With Straight Outta Compton. The pre-Dre before NWA was all Dr. Dre, Electro, all the stuff. He disappeared.
World Class
Wrecking Crew. Yeah. And then it's crazy how this thing birthed, because I remember watching Juice, the film Juice. It's mad. Hip hop is so strong, because you can hear it, but when you see certain things in hip hop, it's like there's films along the way with hip hop. So the Juice, the Menace to Society. There's like even love stories, the Poetic Justice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These things
all based around hip hop.
Yeah.
Pretty much, aren't they?
Yeah. And it's mad now. I'm a grumpy old hip hop head now. So I'll give you a perfect example. The other day,
if you weren't minding this conversation,
I'm grumpy. Let me give you a perfect example. The other day I was listening to BBC Radio Nottingham. I'm not dissing you, by the way, but I'm kind of dissing you. And I heard him say this at 4 o'clock in the middle of the day. The mixtape on BBC Radio Nottingham. And I thought, mixtapes from hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like everything, we don't realise, man. We've birthed everything. The adverts, the slang, the style of wear.
If we get into the mixtape era as well, what that was.
The mixtape era. No, let's touch on the mixtape era a little bit. Because for me, Tony Touch, shout out Tony Touch, I got to meet him. 50 MCs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about that mixtape. You know about that mixtape?
No, I don't know.
So 50 MCs, you've got a mixtape and 50 MCs on there basically.
Yeah.
And then you got a boot camp click going hard on there. I remember that. Capone Noriega, Nas. And back then on a mixtape, the closer you was to the start of the tape, the more that person rated you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to sound... I'm not bothered if I sound like an old head, but there was something in getting the tapes.
The Barbito and Stretch
Yes, exactly.
Rare as hell, man.
Yeah.
They got cut onto vinyl as well, didn't they?
They did.
But they're a great point in hip hop where, you know, an MC would turn up and the DJ would play an instrumental, and there was a moment captured between a DJ cutting up an instrumental and an MC, you know, doing verses that aren't on albums, you know what I mean?
Yes, special.
And especially written verses for that session, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And back then it was a thing of, yo, if you basically you couldn't use the same verse twice. So if you for example had a I don't know, if you had a vinyl out or whatever, you couldn't then go and spit that on a freestyle. The freestyle verse got to be something exclusive to that freestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think the only person that got away with that was Big L, right?
Yeah, because it was a hard, super hard verse. But it wasn't until, a few years later, then I'd be like, I've heard that verse before. Not messing with my man anymore. You know what I'm saying? But yo, when was the first time, Jay, that you did something live and you realised that, yo, I'm an MC? Can you remember?
In terms of a particular rhyme?
No, in terms of your performance, like where you've been thrown in the lions, then like, nah, where's the first time you spit live? Was it on radio?
No.
Or was it a performance?
It was probably at a party, to be honest.
Yeah. With a mic or just a cypher?
Yeah. No, well, my first moment like that was in a cypher. There was a crew was in Long Eaton, and everyone used to spit, but no one knew that I've been penning.
Yeah.
And it was just,
okay. You had something cocked ready.
But it was just something that I kind of watched from the sidelines, because remember these times, maybe 2 or 3 people have heard me rhyme at these times. You get what I mean? And I know that by this time I'm like fully obsessed with it all. Do you get what I mean? And because my thing was always imitating and emulating things when I was a youth. So I kind of thought that I had an ear for what was good or average or whatever. So there was a point in time when I was listening to it and I was going, I think I could have a couple of these, man, you know. And then I just did one time. We all used to go to this marketplace, and that's where we do our little ciphers and stuff like that. And yeah, that's when I first gave my rhymes. That was it. Just instantly, man was just like, nah. And then from then, it's almost like a fiend chasing that first hit.
It's dopamine. It's dopamine, bro. It's dopamine. It's a hit, bro.
It's a hip hop thing, isn't it?
Yeah. When you get that first high of what people like this.
And that, because me and him, the way we study like battle rap and bars and stuff like that.
We have the most intricate debates about punches and punchlines.
So that whole thing where man's face just contorts into just all different shapes, and it's just from that one line.
The one line or the bar or the...
When Smack used to put them on YouTube, you'd go, Thieves, so-and-so battle dropped today on YouTube. Right, cool, I'll get the kettle on. And he'd come round to mine, we'd put the kettle on and airdrop it to the TV.
Yeah.
And then we'd dissect the bars like...
Yo.
He's like, Fever, did you hear what you just said? Pull that back. Did you hear what you just said?
It's mad, innit?
I sent him to you as well, don't I? I sent him to him as well. Like,
yeah. And then we had the whole... Again, I don't know if this was 90s, but then like the DVDs... You know what I mean? Man would, you know, you'd get the DVDs. People were making their own, because it's crazy as well. Because I used to, obviously, these times I was living in Germany, but I would come back to England, and like I say, the brand of hip hop was different here, because I don't know what it was. I don't know. I feel like people were expressing themselves differently in Germany compared to here. But like you say, things are going on in Italy, things are going on in Spain. So this thing's just spreading worldwide. So I guess you're getting different versions of the thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think because it came to UK early,
Yeah.
and then all the European, all the other countries got it a bit afterwards. I think like there's some point where they just went really advanced in Europe.
Yeah.
And we got a little bit stagnant and a bit
Yeah,
stiff.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
like
yeah.
there's areas in the UK that we're really thorough with hip hop, but it's just think like something was happening in Europe. I mean, you go and watch the B-boy.
Yeah, Battle of the Year and stuff.
The guys in
yeah.
Germany are doing different stuff.
Different
The guys
stuff.
in Japan are doing crazy.
The Japanese doing different stuff.
So there's a point
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a point where we kind of like got not contented with it, but do you know what I mean? We kind of was like, we're doing this hip hop thing and we're up there.
Yeah.
And people like UK artists were getting signed in America, and
Yes.
so we were kind of like
Moni Love was over there. Slick Rick was over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of we had the b-boy stance. While we're doing the b-boy stance, these other kids in these other countries are just like, no, we've
doing the
got
whole
that,
thing.
but now we're doing something else.
France killing it. They was killing it in France. I Am and them groups there. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. Yeah, it's mad. And I wonder if Moni Love is a different Moni Love if she gets signed in England. I wonder if Slick Rick's a different Slick Rick if he gets signed in England.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. He may not be the legend that he is, right?
Or is he a different spitting Slick Rick?
I always thought that like back in the day, in England there was a different understanding to how hip hop should be digested.
Yeah, 100%.
And also,
100%.
and also projected.
Yeah.
It's almost like every time you heard like you think back in the day when you heard radio on like any song that would have a rapper on it, they never used to play the raps. Never used to play the rap verse of like a R&B song on the radio
Sometimes
back in the day.
Just cut them dead. It was just
Cheekier. And then this is what I remember listening to Westwood, and that's where I first heard like Helter Skelter, Biggie probably, and then right at the end of his show, I'm talking the last 10 minutes, you get some UK hip hop now.
He got a lot of stick for that, didn't he? Well, he got a lot of stick for like seemingly not pushing the UK.
Yeah,
Isn't that why he got shot? It was like it was something to do with like it was something to do with
I
like
thought it was like an extortion thing.
No, it was something to do with him not playing random's tunes and stuff like
Probably, yeah.
I heard this.
Say allegedly. Say allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
For the sake of the podcast.
Allegedly. No, but I heard it on another podcast. Someone saying,
Right.
And that's where I first heard Mr. 45. Shout out 45 man, because I was like, what? Man are doing a similar thing in England.
That guy's a different animal, man.
Ahead of their time. Yeah. And again, you was only getting the last 10 minutes of Westwood, but I think in the other European countries, you were getting more of their brand of hip hop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'd heard so much about Mr. 45, knew the Radford You Get Me tune. Shout out to 45.
Shout out to Trevor, all them man there. Yeah.
Wicked. But hadn't locked into how skilled he was as an MC till Nicky Dimples had booked. We was kind of a production company. It was just before we brought Jay in. We had this production company. So it was me, Nicky, and then it was Denzi, and then 4-5 came in and was helping us with the songs and everything. And we had a session booked, and they were like, load up a beat for you, like, we want to try and lay something. And I had this beat with this pretty dark sampling, and Fifth was like, yeah, this one. And that was the first time he went in the booth, and he was like,
he's super hard, isn't he?
And I was like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's when because I was right there, and he was in the booth and he was right in front of me, and he delivered this like amazing like verse. I've still got it on cassette tape. I think I got a recording of it on the cassette tape, and so I've got all my archives of everything.
You got all them. You one of them guys, man. I like that. Yeah, I've lost everything. But I'm with you on that. I think he was, he'd set the standard in the UK. Yeah. Not just in Nottingham, but in the UK. I think if you go to London and you mention Mr. Yeah, he's up there.
He gets his.
He's up there.
Yeah, they give it up straight away.
Yeah.
To Mr. 45.
Yeah. And there's this respect thing, man, in hip hop that you can't buy, really.
Yeah.
Because even today, when I look at 4-5, I'm still the little kid like, no, this is 4-5. I was taping you off the radio.
We managed to get an EP with him, didn't we?
Yeah.
J Mix that.
Yeah.
And
That was in my early stages.
in his early
I was
stages.
still
Sounds
at
great.
college, Not even at uni.
Not even college. He was at Confetti.
Yeah.
And that's how we met.
It's
And
gold.
so me and him clicked, and then and I goes, look, I'm crap at engineering the sessions. Do you want to come in these sessions with me and Nicky?
Yeah.
And I'll just record and get everything right and book all the kit out and
It
everything.
didn't kind of go like that.
Yeah.
That's what I started. But how it first started, I was a student and you was in one of the little satellite studios
Yeah.
upstairs.
Was you in my DJ group?
Yeah, I was
in my
your
DJ group. Yeah.
So I knew his face and
Yeah.
I knew him as Fever. I didn't know he was doing music and stuff.
Yeah.
I was my DJ tutor. And then I was in the studio next to you.
Yeah.
And I think he was trying to collate an EP, so he was lining up the audio files, but struggling with it because obviously he's not.
It's not my thing.
Not your thing. So you got
not
one of the
his thing.
students
So
to help.
I've come in. I was like, "Oh, what you doing? Oh, I'm just trying to do this." And Nicky was there trying to do this and get this. I goes, "Oh, I'll do it. I'm finishing in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll stay behind and do it." "Oh yeah, wicked." So then I just went in, helped it. Yeah, just chop this here and there, and then put it on CD.
Yeah.
And then that was it for me. I thought, yeah, wicked, helped your wife.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, respect. And I think it was a couple of days later.
Went to one of my groups and I goes, yo, bro, I've got a session tonight.
yeah.
It was in one of my
Yeah,
groups. I
probably,
remember. It was like, I've got a session tonight. Do you fancy coming in and yeah.
And then Nicky said, "Oh, I think we should get him involved."
Yeah.
Like you telling me that.
Yeah,
Nicky was
yeah.
saying, "Oh, I think we should like bring Gel.
Yeah,
board
yeah,
to
bring you in.
engineering stuff."
Mm.
And when was that? 2001.
Yeah.
Here we are,
It's the second year I was at
22
Confetti.
years later.
2001.
It's beautiful. So you've got an EP with 4-5 unreleased.
No, it got released. Russ Kwame was hammering it. Wasn't he?
I can imagine. Yeah, your
Hammering
beats with
it.
4-5 on.
Yeah, he was
What's the
hammering
name
it.
of the EP then?
It was called
It's called Street Beats.
Street
wasn't it?
Beats. Was called Street
Yeah.
Beats.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what the
Hey.
group was called.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
production group was called Street Beats.
Like an
Okay.
introduction to us as a production team. 4-5 featuring Whitney Williams.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Featuring on the songs. She featured
Yeah,
on
yeah.
3 of the songs.
Yeah.
And
Oh, some big
Yeah.
tunes. there.
Yeah.
his
I'm thinking
bars,
about it.
his bars and everything are just amazing, aren't they?
Yeah.
But for saying he was fresh out of college,
But I was still in college. I was
yeah,
still
yeah.
learning at the time because I
He-
could get free studio time.
he probably frowns at the mixers, but they suit the
Yeah.
the tracks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously now he's more advanced.
Yeah.
But it was a great journey, and having Mr. 45 as it's almost like an advanced guinea pig almost. We
Yeah,
were just
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to find our sound.
Yeah, yeah.
And we had Mr. 45 to sort of mould it around.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a blessing, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. And the beauty, I think, of hip hop as well, man, it don't really get old, man. Like if 4-5 drops something today, it's blowing. But do you know what's crazy about hip hop? I feel like the more authentic, the better. At some point, we could talk about this for a second. It gets commercialized, innit? So it's like telling a lady that she's beautiful. She's different now. She's moving different now. I should have never told her that she's beautiful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She knows that she's Chris now.
That was a funny analysis.
Funny analogy, innit? I didn't mean that, ladies. So now it's like almost everyone's trying to be commercial, and this is where you lose the authenticity. Where everyone's trying to be commercial now.
Well, you know what it is? When I worked, the last project I did the last thing I recorded with Littles, it's like that's never a thought in our mind. I think it is
Best way to be.
I think it's when you work with certain artists because they have that crossover.
Yeah, they're born into it.
Yeah.
They're born into it.
Yeah, they have that crossover thing. So you think, well, you know, you suit this better than you do this other thing.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, for me, most of the rappers that I'm working with, they, you know, the rawer the hip hop beat I make, the better they perform on it, and the better outcome. You know, it's just wicked when you can get somebody to just make it compete. You know, sonically.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
But that last thing that we did with the Rick Wakeman sample in here. It's like he came round. I was like, oh yeah, listen to this, and I just made it, Anna. And he came. He was like, wait 1 minute. He was pacing up and down in the room, and then, you know, in this wicked joint, which probably needs mixing at some point.
Yeah. But that's the beauty of it, man. I think, you know, when it's a banger, yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, bro. It's so easy to write to, innit?
Yeah, some of them things they just write themselves.
They write themselves.
Yeah, they definitely just write themselves. But I've been in situations where I've been working with people, and the aim has kind of been that, I hate that word, the crossover thing.
Yeah.
And you experiment and try and do things that sound mainstream and commercially appealing. And I did this one tune. I did it with my dad and a guy called Tony Smith.
Yeah.
From a group called the Naturalites.
Big group.
Yeah. But obviously they're man of a certain age, innit? And these times I'm about 25 or something like that. And I just come off the back of. No, it was just. Was it? It might have been
just after Beats, Breaks and Romance.
Yeah. Just after Beats, Breaks and Romance.
That's a heavy sample based album that I did for him. Yeah.
And no, it was when Beats, Breaks and Romance was Ordinarily Unique.
It had two titles. It was Ordinarily Unique before.
Oh, and then you retitled it and put it out.
Yeah. And then we was working on stuff and I had this band put together.
I seen you lot perform. It was hard.
Your sister was in the band.
My sister was in it as well.
Super hard. Yeah.
But I feel like his like funk and jazz influences, the way that they intended for him to cross over and mesh with what I was into. It was more about me getting into what they was into.
Yeah,
they weren't really into.
Yeah,
so there was a tune that we did. It was bro, I can't even remember what it was called. But it got played on radio. I think it was BBC or something.
Yeah.
And then my brethren rang me. He was like, "Yo, have you seen Twitter?" And I was like, "What?" And there's one rapper called Minds. Don't know if man know Minds.
Yeah.
And he put a tweet saying something like, "Oh, I was just listening to Kemet," and he tagged me in it. It said "Littles," and he went ... LOL.
Ooh.
From then I was like, yo, never ever. Because I knew what I've done.
Never ever doing that commercial
never
thing
ever trying that shit
See,
again.
I'm lucky
Never ever trying that shit again.
I'm lucky that early on in my career there wasn't no social media because I'd have got buried.
Yeah.
A man said, again, this is probably in the time when Puffy was just coming up.
So did you try and jiggy it up a bit?
I tried jiggy it up, bro. I tried jiggy it up. It was not a good idea, bro. To this day, I'm embarrassed, bro. The song was called "Sexy Baby." From the title already, you could know the disaster.
You went super jiggy.
Bro, and that was the problem because there comes a time as an MC, where you end up getting torn into: do I do this commercial thing, or do I stay in my lane and remember where
me and him had a
from?
tune back. Remember the Facebook song?
That was
that got. That kind of
bubble popped off, didn't it? And what happened with that beat was I was playing around with some. I found some new bass lines. So it was like a thing where I was like messing around on the MPC.
Yeah.
Made this thing where it had like a 4-bar switch into a low, a frequency drop to a low part of the bass line. Then it went back up to the high frequency, to the high notes, and then went back down like 3 or 4 octaves and dropped down. And it was weird. It wasn't really a beat, was it? It was just a weird loop.
Yeah.
You know, because beats are beats, aren't they?
Yeah.
Are just loops,
Loops are
aren't
loops.
they?
Yeah, you can
loop's
get
an
away with.
Unfinished beat.
Yeah.
And it was that's all it was, you know. And it wasn't something that but it was on. I'd obviously recorded it in. And it was on at the end of a beat CD or something.
Yeah.
Did I give you a beat CD or did someone
I remember
picked up a beat CD or something?
It was like the first or second one that you gave me.
Yeah.
Not long after I'd met you.
Because it had the Mun tribute.
Yes,
beat on the same
Tube.
But it popped off then.
Because I heard it and it reminded me of the Buster one. Touch it, bring it, babe. That's why I did it like that and came back up.
I did a Buster fan anyway.
That's why I was like, and I was recording it take one them times, and I was doing when we was doing the
shout out to Courtney.
Courtney. Yeah.
Spent a lot of time there, a lot of good years, man. And we did the Liam Munn song, and then this Facebook thing just came about, and there was another MC, Quiver.
Yeah.
And me and him was like powering heavy at them times, and I was like, "Yo, do you want to jump on this with me?" Because he was active on the social media thing.
Yeah.
And I said, I want to do a tune about Facebook. Because Facebook was just popping, and I just got
on the tune now. God, yeah. Was that you?
So flipping, we did it and everything, and then it got to a point where I was going town and people were stopping me and singing the song to me and stuff like that. And
did it become a ringtone?
I don't know.
It was bubbling for a minute, that tune,
But like if that was now, I would have been them times I had zero guidance. No one was trying to be like, right, let's do something with this or whatever.
That was a catchy tune, bro. Is that your beat then?
Yeah,
should have knew, Fuse.
My first video, Courtney shot the first video that I ever did. It was horrible, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was horrible. It was horrible.
shout out to Courtney.
Yeah.
Courtney. Respect,
Black
man,
Viking.
for the first video.
Yeah.
It was a horrible video.
He's deeply rooted.
But I'm
Yeah.
talking about more so like what my input into it was.
No, yeah, just bouncing off that, just how important Courtney and Trevor are.
Deeply rooted in this Nottingham.
Look, he's even there for Little's
He's there,
generation coming through as an MC.
Yeah.
And he's there for me. He's the one that sat me in front of a sampler for the first time and went, right, there's the on button, put the record on.
No, I'm going to have to get him on. Definitely.
Yeah, as Black Viking, obviously, the producer for Pure Genius.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just...
Yeah.
And then like Trev, for me, was later down the line.
Yeah, he was,
Trev was later down the line.
Yeah, no, it's deep, man. We're gonna have to do 5 episodes of this, man. I can already see. I got some quick fire questions when it comes to hip hop. Gangster or conscious?
Start that side.
Gangster or conscious?
Give me a bit of time to think about the answer.
The reason why is because few will know. When I first got into it, I was more a West Coast fan.
Ooh, so you on this G?
Yeah, Snoop was the first.
Yeah.
The Doggy Style album. So those rappers are before I wasn't even into East Coast hip hop.
Yeah.
So they're before me. They're before me.
So you going gangster? Thieves, what you saying?
Gangster or conscious?
Yeah.
It's got to be conscious, hasn't
Yeah.
it? Grew up on Public Enemy, man.
Yeah.
And Lakim Shabazz and all of that.
Yeah.
Intelligent Hoodlum.
Yeah.
Chill Rob G and all of that, you know.
Yeah. Big music. What are you saying, Littles?
I'd say conscious, because it gets to a certain point where you realise you're actually being educated by this shit as well. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bars.
So it's even if it does spill in over to like the gangster side of things.
Yeah.
It's things that you probably later pick up on in life, and you think, oh yeah, these lot was talking about that in this conscious. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously when you're a kid, it's
without us being, me and you being, you know, on the fence, because we've picked one. When we watch the battle rap, those gangster bars make me and him jump out the seat. When they
hit differently, don't they?
Yeah, they hit different when they're like that.
When they talk foul to each other and punch and triple entendre about what they're going to do to their crew. I know. I'm just like, what?
Yeah. And it's so...
that's amazing.
You believe it, like, these men are going to kill each other after this.
Yeah.
But it's art. It's beautiful, isn't it?
How many ways can you bend a syllable and turn that syllable into another word and it's directed at that guy as well? When you're using his name and everything and you're bending...
Yeah.
I mean, we lose it when they do that so well.
Yeah.
So them gangster bars...
Yeah.
You know, I am big conscious, but those gangster bars can be like seriously amazing.
Now, I mean, because the music now, none of it makes sense. You know that a lot of them are lying anyway nowadays.
Yeah, but you would believe it. Yeah.
What's what?
Yeah.
So it's not like my choice now. My choice wouldn't be
gangster music.
Gangster music
Yeah.
now. You know, I'm more likely to put on Talib or Common. You know what I mean?
Me and him we'll never let go of Reflection Eternal. That's mine and his one. Mine is favourite.
Come on, that's probably one of my...
Yeah. Well, Kendrick, Kendrick's probably one of my favourite artists at the minute.
Same.
Obviously, he's a conscious rapper. There's a lot of deep messages in what he's saying.
Okay. Best live shows. Who's the best live show for you? Fever, glad I didn't ask him this.
Oh, is it me?
No, I'm going with you.
Pharoah Monch has got to be one of them.
Pharoah Monch?
When we see him at Jazz Cafe.
Yeah.
Pharoah Monch. Thieves, who are you going with?
That's tough, man.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
Seen Della, De La
Soul. I'm throwing Busta Rhymes in the ring. I'm saying Busta Rhymes.
I saw Busta.
I've not
in Spliff,
I've not seen.
Just for the back and forth. But again, a close second, Method Man, Redman. Them man are super hard together.
That's my
MOP.
I've never seen two rappers know when to drop out and the other one know. That's incredible. How they stop and the other one fills the gap, and it's quite intricate when they do it, isn't it?
Yeah. But then, who are you going with? Red and Meth?
I gotta go Red and Meth.
But then if you've seen the Roots perform and Black Thought,
I've seen them as well. I've seen the Roots.
There's so many.
I'm gonna pass on that one.
Yeah, that's
I'll
yeah,
pass on that one, so I can't give
yeah. Chicken. All right then. I think we're gonna do about 3 episodes of this hip hop thing. If you could work with anyone in hip hop, who would it be, Jay?
I know the answer to that.
Anyone?
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre, of course. Yeah. Cool.
It's got to be Nas, ain't it?
Going with Nas on one of your beats. Yeah, that could still happen, Thieves. Yeah, shout out to Nas.
Hit
Yeah.
boys.
Hit
Hit
boys.
boys.
Hit boys.
If you can get Hit Boy out of the way,
Get Hit Boy out of the way.
he's
Yeah, but he don't look like he's going anywhere for
No,
any time
mate.
soon.
That
Yeah.
combination is ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
it's beautiful, isn't it?
Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
He's
Fresh.
The transition he's made to understand Nas and vice versa.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Jay, what you saying? If you could work with anyone and why?
I'm saying Andre 3000.
Ooh, see, I thought he was going to choose a producer. Okay, Andre 3000.
No, but I thought he's referencing.
No,
rappers
anyone in
because,
hip hop. Anyone in hip hop.
MC would definitely be Andre 3000. Producer.
Dilla, if he was still
It's,
alive.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
We listen to Dilla beats. We go
Yeah.
cinema.
Outside of that,
Oh,
outside of the rap.
wait. I need to tell my Dilla story as
Oh,
well.
please do.
Ah.
And you've told me this before.
Yeah. So
Is
I'm
that,
in the
is that
studio.
Is that this folder?
Yeah, I'm in the studio.
Can I get this folder, by the way?
Nah, you can't. You can buy it. So if you could do verses, then who would you go against?
As a DJ?
Yeah.
Crikey. So what we're doing, we're playing our own songs against each other.
Yeah.
Produced.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. What, somebody like
Anyone.
UK wise?
Anyone.
Jesus.
What,
Who you
to
drawing
Clash
for?
or to
Clash.
Clash?
Yeah. Clash. Verses.
So production versus production.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what
you know what I'm talking about.
Who would I do that again?
Who you going against? Bearing in mind this could happen. We're bringing it into existence right now. Who you drawing for?
I'm trying to think.
Who's-
Some badasses out
who's
there,
on
innit,
your
that
level,
that would
Whose head would you take off?
Don't be scared.
Don't be
Don't
scared.
be scared. Yeah, don't be scared.
I'm putting you against Ninth Wonder, bro.
Ooh, that's a big call. That is, you know.
That's
Well, look,
actually, no, I
That-
could
yeah,
do that.
yeah.
Technically,
No,
scratch
yeah.
DJ wise, I'll cut him to death. I'll scratch
All
him.
right,
But
we're
look,
back in the
he's
room.
sloppy
Yeah.
choppy. He's a sloppy choppy.
Oh man,
He's sloppy on the chops. He's sloppy on
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
chops.
so-
We're going for that. We're calling him out.
Sloppy on the chops. He's sloppy on the chops.
Sloppy chop.
Littles, who you going for in the
If you
verses?
used to do a rhythm roulette,
Who you going
I
for?
think you got him.
Who am I going for?
Who you going for in the verses, bro?
What do you mean? Like,
MC.
Bar
for
for bar.
bar. Who you
Fucking
going
anybody.
for? Come.
Anybody.
No, rookie.
Anybody. He knows.
Oh,
That's what I'm like.
We know we're in the studio recording music. We have the best.
I wish a
conversation.
nigga
You-
would.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
if
I'm
we-
on that.
You know, if we
Yeah,
had
yeah.
the camera. You know, if I went live and we was making it, swear down, you'd be like rolling around laughing.
No, that's good.
When we have stories, the things that get under his skin, it just cracks me up, man. I
can imagine.
So yeah, he's the thing is, I love that in him though, because you know when you get him in the studio and he's writing, it's not like he's content. He's always writing with a point to prove. Do you know what I mean?
No,
He
real
doesn't write, he
MCing.
doesn't actually write. He does it all.
Yeah,
aware,
yeah,
but-
yeah, yeah.
But when he's putting verses together, he's not sitting back going, look, you know, I can
Yeah,
rap,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll just lay this easy 16 down. It's always 100%. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Littles, plug your new.
Oh, the new tape. Yeah,
Yeah.
New tape. Me and Zuta from the Elements.
Yeah.
Got a little EP called Vex.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of social commentary there. It's all referencing all just the madness that everyone's living in
Yeah.
today. Really, all the things
Yeah.
that we see people going through and whatever, and that's the best way you can describe that life is. Everyone's just pissed off, aren't they, at the minute?
No, it's
So
a
just
it's a good body of work, man.
Yeah, it just kind of
good
gives
body of work.
people an opportunity to kind of have some type of not a soundtrack to how life is, but just, you know, if people lend an ear to it, they'll know that there's someone out there that relates to what they may be going through or the feelings that they may be experiencing at the minute and whatever. And obviously we've put it into the hip hop format and expressed it the way that we know. And yeah, it's doing all right as well. It's
No,
doing
I
all
like
right
it,
as well.
man.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
it. Good
man.
piece of art.
Yeah.
Yo, we're ending it there, gents.
Yeah.
We could go all night. Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for having us.
We're gonna have to do the part.
No, we've got to do it
2,
again.
3, 4.
Yeah, no, we've got to do more of this.
Yeah.
Got to do more of this. I like it. Thank you very much. Yeah, greatness now. Stay tuned. Blessings.